Alright, hey everyone, this is Ash. Welcome back to the King's Speech. So after a brief hiatus, I am back and ready to annoy some One Piece fans with my opinions on this chapter and this series. Unfortunately, I did get spoiled on a pretty big moment and reveal that comes up in this chapter. It seems like quarantine is just making the spoiler pandemic even worse, but not really much we can do about that. So without further ado, let us dive into the One Piece, chapter 976, reaction review. And we have a color page spread for this week's chapter with the Tontadas and the Straw Hats working together to make some shoes. Requested by Honey Liquor. And yeah, it's colorful, very whimsical spread. It's really nice, not much more to say about it. As always, we have translation by Stephen Paul, lettering by Vanessa Satone. So we have chapter 976, Begging Your Pardon. And you have both Kawamatsu and Raizo just fisting Kinemon's face as they go, just be honest, that's Dog Storm going, just be honest with us, Kinemon. And Kawamatsu's like, all's well that ends well. We won't be mad, so fess up. And Kinemon's just starting to be stoic with arms crossed, like, stop it. Stop right now. Raizo's like, admit it. Admit you thought it was Tokage Port. And Kinemon goes, perhaps I'll die in the battle ahead. It feels as though I've just used up an entire lifetime's worth of good luck. My God, so awkward. Alright, he's like, oh, he's not kidding about being lucky. It's like, Sir Kinemon's like, that's our leader. It's like, if anything, you've been channeling our good luck for having you as comrade in arms. And I think that's Law saying that off to the side. You have Kiku going, the right, Master Kin, we won't let you die alone. Dogs from goes, we serve Lord Oden together. And Ashura goes, we might have been born and raised apart, but we'll die together. Kinemon's like, it's cold comfort coming from a band of stinking men. And Denjiro's like, raise your katana, Kin, we've won the opening battle. Kinemon goes, then I accept this fate. Let us avenge Lord Oden together. And he just starts to hold his sword above his head. And they're like, yeah, Sir Kinemon, today's the day that we bring change to Wano. And you see the Beast Pirates going, prepare the cannons. It's like, there's so many. It's like, who cares? We're in battleships and all they have are ferries. And you see Kanjuro getting ready to leave as he goes, time to report. I've completed my role. There's only one thing to do now. Oh, there's flipping a sword so you can use the brush to draw something. And you see Kawamatsu diving into the ocean, chasing after as he goes, have you contacted Onigashima? He's like, I'm trying, but they're probably so busy with the feast they're not noticing. And you see Kawamatsu's just furious as he rushes in, trying to take out Kanjuro. And you see Kanjuro's drawing some kind of bird on the ground with a swish swish and a shapa as Kawamatsu goes flying straight for him with his sword drawn. And Kanjuro gets angry as he puts up his sword brush to block. And you have Kinemon going, Kawamatsu! He goes, you shall not have Lord Momonosuke. And Kanjuro goes, oh, but I will, Fishman. Kozuki is finished. And you see this crane drawing starting to bend itself away from the ground. As Momonosuke calls it, Kawamatsu! And he goes, Lord Momonosuke! We see a flop as Kanjuro jumps on board the crane and takes off. And he goes, next I will find Hiyori and kill her. Now that I know she's alive. He's got this maniacal face on as Kawamatsu's getting even more furious. And Kinemon goes, you knave! I see how smoothly that bird you've painted flies, but you never showed us anything but ugly monstrosities that washed away in water. And he goes, farewell, you fools! He's so over the top ridiculous. And you have Momonosuke going, let me down, it's too high, I'm scared. He goes, either way you'll never triumph over Master Kaido's forces. You'll never even set foot on the island, ka 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 ka. I'll talk about the whole reveal with Kanjuro and the twist at the end because I didn't cover it in any of the previous chapter review stuff. You have Momonosuke freaking out. He goes, let me back down. I'm scared. Someone help. And Luffy still hasn't picked on what's going on. He goes, Kanjuro? Momo? Where are you going? And you see the other samurai calling out, he's got Lord Momonosuke. Give our lord back. And you have Shitji doing his still skywalk as he jumps up and goes, so I'm guessing the Chondro turned out to be a mole, Robin? And she goes, that seems to be the case. We need to help. And you have Chopper freaking out as he calls out, Luffy, Chondro's an enemy spy. He's capturing Momo. Luffy's like, what? And you see time to escape into the clouds as he takes off flying. And Luffy's like, really? This whole time? What a jerk. And Usopp's like, I'll shoot him out of the sky. And you see as Shitji's running up, he sees, what's that cloud? And you see a dark cloud, looks almost like a thundercloud forming. As Kinemon goes, turn back, Shitji. I have a bad feeling about this. What the hell is this? What in the hell? Oh my god. So you see the Chondro's hair somehow now mutated into a brush of some kind and is leaking this black cloud of ink. Is he still just holding on to Momonosuke, or is he doing some kind of like ninjutsu symbols? And he goes, in clouds, you have boom boom, and you see this black cloud just spewing from his hair. And you have Kinemon going, whatever he's doing, it's something we haven't seen before. And you see rain down ink arrows. And you see a fwim fwim as the samurai looking up. And you see his black needles starting to rain down on all the ships. And they go, it's like ukiyo portrait, evening shower. You have hard to port. It's like, yeah. Like dun 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 dun. You have Momonosuke crying as he's grabbing onto him. Stop this, Chondro, they're all gonna die. And he goes, yes, that's right. They're finally going to die. Your father, Oden, God, Shitji, of course, has to leap in front of Nami to protect her from the hail. And Mother Toki delayed their deaths by 20 years, dangling pointless hope before them. But the general, all those brave and hardy samurai follow, is just a wailing child without conviction, cowering from heights. What a joke. You have Momonosuke going, I know most of all that I am not Kozuki Oden. I know it better than anyone. And he goes, can you all hear me? And they're like, Lord Momonosuke? And he goes, do not fret about me. That is what the enemy wants you to do. With tears streaming down his face, he's trying to put on a brave face. He goes, I will find a way to escape on my own. Destroy Kaido and Orochi and protect Wano. And he's thinking to himself, I don't know how. I can't do it. No one will rescue me this way, but... And you see all the samurai just crying. It's like, it's like the poor brave boy. Such divine courage, Lord Momonosuke. And you see Luffy's all proud of him. He's going, by Momo standards, he's being a real man. He calls out, that's right, Momo. For such a cowardly, dumb little brat, you're just a kid with a top knot who's all talk. And you see all the samurai getting mad, going, who is that? Cut him in two. And Luffy goes, find a way to survive. We'll go and rescue you. 'Cause we're pals. And you have him doing his little snot face crying as he's just like, yeah, Luffy, we're pals, man. And you see Chondro flying away to Onigashima. As Luffy leaps back over to the sun, he goes, let's go to Onigashima. I was like, you got it. You have one of the ships is escaping. They'll all be going in the same direction. It's like, wasn't there another one? It's like, we already sank it. Kinemon calls out to the other samurai ships and goes, are you all well? And they go, we have a few damaged ships and casualties. Let's hurry and land on the island. Nothing could be worse than die at sea. You have, what's his face? God, I can't remember. Shinobu going, I'm so sorry for this, Masterkin. I failed you. And he goes, the important thing is that you're well. They will not take Lord Momonosuke's life. You have Raizo looking at Denjiro going, what happened to your face? Denjiro's like, plenty. Let's hurry. It's like, it's good to see you. And the law's getting mad, calling out, hey, this isn't your samurai garrison. As the 9 scavengers have leaped on to the submarine for passage. As they go, we appreciate your help. And he goes, I'm not helping you. Get off. You see Kid rallying his crew as he goes, don't let the Stryads get the jump on us. And they're like, yes, sir. And you see a foof as something comes flying in. And you see one of the samurai ships exploding with the kaboom. And then, And they're like, huh? And Lusov's like, it came from one of the fleeing ships. Frankie's like, a long distance cannon? And he's like, they're just measuring the distance. From that far away? And he's like, yeah, ha 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 ha. The weapons of Wano are high precision. And thanks to the weapons factories, we've got a whole array at our disposal. And you see these 3 gigantic cannons on one of Kaido's, one of the Grifter ships. As they're firing more shots, and they go, "Let's see you try to fly at us again, suckers!" And you see them firing off another shot as one of the Yakuza leaders goes, "Pull back, more distance!" And you see another, and a kabam as one of the other ships gets blown apart as well. And you see Law going, "Damn it, I thought it was fishy they ran off so willingly." And Luffy's like, "Full speed ahead, we gotta get closer." And you see a bakoom, bakoom as more ships are exploding as they're firing more shots from the cannons. And you have Kid going, "Sink all the samurai ships you want, see if I care." And Denjiro goes, "If they manage to maintain this distance, we'll all be sunk." And you see a bunch of ships just drowning into the ocean as the Kaido's force are celebrating, going, "Da ha ha! This battle's already over. We're untouchable back here." And you see a as you see Spear Wave. And you have an epic panel of a kaboom as you see a shot of water just getting blown through Kaido's ship. And they're like, "There's a huge hole in that ship." And you see a kaboom. It's like, "Yeah!" And you see the ship's on fire. It's like, bakoom. And you see the cannons are getting destroyed. It's like, "Our long distance cannons." And you see Brook going, "Something's happening over there." And Robin's like, "Maybe they're being killed by the vengeful spirit of a baby who died at sea." And Usopp's like, "This one, that sounds cuddly. What's going on?" And you see as the ship's going up in flames and sinking into the water. And you see, "Is someone out there?" And you see, "Well met, good people, begging your pardon." With a bang. "I hail from the Fishman district of Ryugu Kingdom on the bottom of the sea. Bang ba bang. I am but a humble newcomer to this group, having imposed upon folks left and right despite receiving a ritual cup. From the boss of the Straw Hat crew. They call me Jimbei, first son of the sea. Yes!" And you have Law and Kid both freaking out as they go, "Are you kidding? He's joining the Straw Hats?" And he goes, "For the sake of a long and fruitful relationship, I would be pleased to make your acquaintance." And you see Luffy just grinning ear to ear as you see Jinbei genially smiling, going, "Wah ha ha ha! Sorry for forcing you to wait like that, but I've come back alive just as I promised, Luffy." And you have Straw Hat Crew Helmsman Jinbei, first son of the sea, bounty 438 million berries. And he goes, "I'm glad I made it in time for the battle." And you see Luffy going, "Jimbei!" And you have the other side going, "Jimbei!" He's like, "Boss! Raw!" Cheering. As the fish uncle is finally back after 8 long damn years. He's finally recognized as one of the Straw Hat crew. As the chapter ends. Alright, so I'll go through, I guess, thoughts for this relatively quickly because I don't think I have too much to say. So most of this will kind of just pertain to the chapters that came before this and the whole Conjuro as the traitor reveal. So the reveal itself, it's fine. I mean, it's the logical one conclusion, and it's the one that made the most sense. I know a lot of fans called it a long time ago with the Conjuro was the one. They gave lots of solid evidence. So I don't really have any big problems with that reveal, apart from, once again, my criticism that because Oda didn't bother investing enough time into drawing any kind of emotional investment to the Scabbards and the relationship to Oden, the reveal was kind of like, okay, I guess that's it then. And it didn't really hit as hard as, any of the other emotional moments in the series thus far, but that's kind of what I expected from the traitor reveal anyway. The part I'm not too keen on, which is kind of touched on in this chapter, is the whole reveal that, Conjuro was actually faking his drawing skills the entire time. He's actually really good at drawing. And that's not because I'm just like, I hate the idea of, the great artist, of course, gets the best drawing fruit, whatever. That's not my big problem with it. My big problem and concern with that particular plot reveal is because of Oda's, obsession with, doing these constant fake outs And we've already seen this with the Dofi Knight where he did the birdcage, and the cliffhanger at the end of the chapter where he got his head cut off, and he was like, oh no, it was a clone. And now with Conjuro being able to do ink clones and things like that, that's pretty much the sole reason I don't care for this reveal that he's actually a good artist, is because it gives Oda more room to kind of pull those stupid reveals out of somewhere and do the fake outs and be like, oh, you thought you're cutting down this person, but it was actually Conjuro, and he did a really great drawing, and oh my god, no one could see through it. So because of that, I'm just not a big fan of that, just because of what Oda does. In any other series, it would have been a really cool power and really versatile, and I'm sure Oda will, of course, show how versatile and everything it is in the upcoming chapters. But because of that proclivity of his, it kind of just makes me sigh thinking about what he's going to try to do with it. But again, that's a minor complaint from me about that. And again, like, I feel like a lot of this Luffy Momonosuke stuff would hit harder with him being like, oh, with him, because Oda's obviously trying to channel, the Vivi and like the Vivi, the Rebekahs from the other arcs, where Luffy's like, oh, I'm going to help you because I care about you, etc., etc. Except in Wano, he's done so little to make it look like Luffy's invested in any of the citizens except for maybe the ones from, Ibisu Town, and really the whole conflict in Wano thus far, that a lot of this just really falls flat, where it's like, alright, I know what kind of emotions Oda's going for, I know what heartstrings he's trying to tug on, but because he hasn't spent that much time trying to plant the emotional seeds and get us invested in the people of Wano and their struggles, it again just kind of falls really flat. So I guess we'll see how this turns out once once the raid and everything commences and everything else like that. But again, I guess some longer term theories. Seeing the Kaido's cannons and like the weapons factory and everything else just makes me even more convinced that the Marines are going to take over Wano country and forcibly induct it into the world government at the end of this arc. Because we've seen the build-up with the whole Akainu's built up, has conscripted an army. And we've had Kobe talking about the whole, which I still think is somewhat of a red herring, with the whole reveal of like, oh, the Marines don't have enough forces to kind of strike back. And the whole idea that there's this weapons factory producing, high-grade munitions and weapons like these, I can't help but think that the Marines are going to want to get their hands on this so they can arm their soldiers as best as they can so they can finally start striking back against the pirates, especially if Blackbeard does show up and end up taking out Kaido and upsetting the balance of powers even more in the New World. I can't see the Marines just sitting still and kind of twiddling their thumbs. We'll have to see what happens with that, which kind of ties into my next point. I think 90% of the fandom probably thinks that this raid will be successful. This is kind of the climax of the arc. Or maybe there'll be a temporary kind of setback for the Straw Hats. I still don't think that they're going to be successful on this part of the raid, getting into Kaido and his forces and everything else. There's too many loose ends in this arc. I can't see being tied up if the arc's climax is approaching as rapidly as it is seemingly doing right now. I might do a separate video on that with all my thoughts, because I don't think I have enough time or the room to get into it right now. But a few of the ones are, I still don't know what he's going to do with the smile users, because Oda's brought up this theme of masks hiding people's true intentions, emotions, whatever, throughout this arc. He's done it with Hiyori when she wears the fox mask when she's playing the shamisen. She's done it with Conjuro now being the traitor and being like, oh, I'm an actor who only lives to serve and play a role. We've done it with the Abusu Smile Abusu Smile, people, the ones that have eaten the smile and everything else. So there's a bunch of themes like that in this arc that it feels like Oda needs to explore more. And unless he's really rushing the series at this point, I can't see why he wouldn't go back and explore it. But like I said, that might be a separate video to just kind of talk about the stuff that's going on. And that's the reason I kind of feel like this raid is going to fail. And the whole Fire Festival where they did where they showed off, that the way they honor the ancestors, they do those little flying boats to kind of send them off in the air to honor the ancestors to spirit. I still do feel like my theory on that is going to come true at some point, where the Straw Hats are going to have to make all the ships into kind of flying blimps to maybe get around the naval forces. But again, that might be something where Oda had an idea and he decides he doesn't have enough time to execute it properly or whatnot. We'll have to see what happens. But that being said, we kind of come to the final plot point. I really want to talk about this chapter, which is that epic final reveal that I got spoiled on. I'm so mad about it. Thankfully, it still was great. The impact was still there, so it wasn't too bad. But my biggest pet peeve with the Jimbei reveal at this point is, as of right now, there was no reason why Oda needed to withhold him joining the crew and to come back in this, last save, dramatic cliffhanger moment of a chapter. As good as it was, there's no reason Oda needed to withhold Jimbei joining up to this point, except for, this pointless, oh my god, Jinbei's coming in to save the day. And that really kind of ticks me off, because the ending of Whole Cake Island was still super shitty, and I was willing to kind of forgive that because I had some ideas about why Oda wanted to withhold Jinbei's return. And there is still some potential for him to tie those loose ends up in some upcoming chapters. As of this point, I'm still so mad he made us wait 8 years for seemingly nothing, because I know there's a lot of speculation about, what if Jinbei was captured by Big Mom, and he lost his lifespan or something else happened, and that's why we're waiting for this dramatic reveal when Jinbei comes back, because we'll find out he lost, maybe an arm or some life or something. And instead we get a reveal of Jinbei being like, nope, I'm back, I'm perfectly fine and healthy, nothing wrong. Epic reveal, here we are, good to go. So, tiny pet peeve, I really am not happy about that. Maybe Oda will make up for it in the next few chapters, but that was the one annoyance I had. As good as the ending was, it still pisses me off a little bit. But I'm glad Jinbei's finally back. You can finally start seeing him interacting with the crew. My investment in Wano has now come back because of Jinbei's return. So we'll hopefully see Oda not screwing this up too badly in the upcoming chapters. But yeah, we'll see what shape this raid takes as of now, because right now it's been a lot of glitz and glam, but still nothing that's kind of keeping me invested. So we'll see if that changes. And until next time, this is Ash. I will talk to you all later. Oh, before I forget, if you do like my videos, please do like, comment, subscribe, all those good stuff. I'm only 6 subscribers away from 100 subscribers, which would be a great milestone to cross in the next little while. So I really appreciate your support if we could make that happen. And with that said, until next time, this is Ash. I will talk to you all later.